Okay, so just to start off with, what are your thoughts on Liz Truss becoming the new Prime Minister?
Well, I'm not very excited about it. In fact, I'm looking forward to her announcement on Thursday, which apparently she's going to make an announcement about energy prices. I hope it's going to be a lot more than just a freeze on prices. It's going to be getting control of our energy sources, and that means bringing those companies into public ownership.
It's the fourth Tory Prime Minister in a row. What are the chances of a Labour Prime Minister soon?
Well, I think the Tories are working very hard at making sure that this is the last Tory Prime Minister of the four in a row. None of them stayed very long, and I think that the record of a country with more food banks than branches of McDonald's, more billionaires than has ever been in our history, and more stress and more poverty than has been in my lifetime, indicates just exactly where their priorities are and what's gone so badly wrong.
You mentioned about nationalisation in there. Why is public ownership the answer to rising energy bills? Keir Starmer says it isn't.
Well, I think public ownership would mean that instead of siphoning off large amounts of money in dividends that are being sent often to tax havens around the world and ludicrously high executive salaries, that would be money for investment. The water companies have not invested, and we've all paid the price. We've paid the price with leaking pipes, we've paid the price with sewage in our rivers and seas. We're paying the price with sky-high energy prices. I think that public ownership, properly run and democratically controlled, is the correct direction to go in. Every other European country has publicly owned water facilities. Most have publicly owned rail services. All have publicly owned mail services. Is ours so successful, or by being different or not? I would argue that we have worse public services because of the profit element that's being taken out of our services.
Okay, enough is enough then. This campaign, does it have the potential to influence the national debate, or is this just a flash in the pan?
It's not a flash in the pan because it's the numbers of people that have become involved in Enough is Enough from all walks of life and from all trade unions and lots of community groups. And here in Norwich this evening, we had a number of trade union speakers. We also had Acorn. We've also had a number of other groups speaking. Acorn, a private renters campaign. And so it is bringing together a whole lot of people who see in the campaign of the rail workers and the postal workers something of their own struggles. And I think it's beginning to change the mood and change the atmosphere. And it will change the whole nature of the public debate in this country.
What are your thoughts on Keir Starmer and the way he's running the Labour Party now?
Well, I think to win an election, as I said in my speech here, we cannot offer just to manage the economy. The issue is change. The issue is redistribution of power and wealth. Why are so many young people living in debt, in expensive private rented accommodation, often employed well below their abilities? Why are so many young people failed by our education system? Because it's over-competitive and it's not inclusive enough of the needs of all children. We need a change of approach. The approach is you care for everybody, not just the successful few.
And do you see a way back into the Labour Party as an MP, or will you run as an independent in the next election?
I was elected as a Labour MP. I serve in Parliament as elected as a Labour MP on the manifesto of 2019. My suspension from the Parliamentary Labour Party is a grotesque injustice, and I think it's about time it was rectified.